I doubt that he will reappear, but you never know. You must never...
The people have spoken.
At 71, Mr. Bean finally confirms what we all suspected about his private life, his career choices, and the truth behind his silent comedy success that made the world laugh for decades. What did he finally admit? Could this change how we see him forever? Why now? Join us as we uncover this surprising revelation hidden for years. Remarkable journey from engineering to global comedy fame. The story of Rowan Atkinson is much more than the story of the man who made millions of people laugh as Mr. Bean. His life reflects the journey of a highly intelligent, disciplined, and focused individual whose abilities were shaped long before worldwide fame arrived. His educational background reveals a man driven by curiosity, determination, and a deep passion for learning. Long before becoming one of the most recognized comedy stars in the world, Rowan had already built a strong academic foundation through years of hard work and dedication. From his earliest school years, Rowan showed clear signs of academic excellence. He was never simply an ordinary student moving through classes without direction. He stood out because of his sharp thinking, calm focus, and natural ability to understand difficult subjects. Areas of study that required logic, reasoning, and deep analysis came naturally to him. He developed strong intellectual skills at a young age, creating a solid foundation that would later support many of his future achievements. At a stage in life when many people were already turning toward creative careers or artistic interests, Rowan remained deeply committed to science and technical studies. His attention was fixed on building a future connected to logic, engineering, and problem solving. This path required discipline and patience, qualities he consistently demonstrated throughout his education. A major turning point in his academic journey came when he enrolled at Newcastle University to study electrical and electronic engineering. This was not an easy course of study. Engineering demanded precision, concentration, and the ability to work through highly complex ideas. It required students to think carefully, solve difficult technical problems, and remain disciplined under pressure. Rowan handled these challenges successfully and continued to thrive in the demanding academic environment. During his time at the university, he earned his bachelor's degree in electrical and electronic engineering. His success showed not only intelligence, but also determination and consistency. He proved himself capable of understanding advanced concepts and managing difficult technical work with confidence. His education strengthened important skills such as analytical thinking, careful observation, structured reasoning, and close attention to detail. These qualities would later become surprisingly important in his comedy career. Although engineering and comedy may appear completely different on the surface, Rowan's educational background helped shape the unique style that later made him famous across the world. His passion for learning did not end after completing his bachelor's degree. Rowan continued pushing himself further academically by moving to the Queen's College, Oxford, part of the world-famous University of Oxford. There, he pursued a master's degree in electrical engineering, continuing his deep involvement in science, research, and advanced technical studies. At Oxford, Rowan expanded his knowledge even further and showed strong commitment to academic excellence. His educational journey eventually extended into doctoral studies, highlighting how serious he was about intellectual growth and achievement. Everything about his path suggested that he was building a future connected to science and engineering. However, during this important stage of his life, something unexpected slowly began to change his direction. While balancing the pressures of demanding academic work, Rowan became involved in performance and comedy through university groups such as the Oxford Revue and the Experimental Theatre Club. At first, these activities may have appeared to be simple side interests or temporary breaks from intense studies. But over time, it became clear that they represented something much deeper. Through these performance groups, Rowan discovered a hidden passion for entertaining audiences. He realized he had a natural talent for comedy and a unique ability to connect with people through humor. Even without relying heavily on words, he could create laughter through expressions, movement, timing, and carefully controlled physical performance. His comedy style quickly began to reflect a rare combination of intelligence and creativity. Rather than leaving behind the mindset he developed through engineering, Rowan brought those same skills into his performances. His academic training remained part of who he was and became closely connected to the way he approached comedy. This became one of the most fascinating aspects of his journey. His education never limited his creativity. Instead, it strengthened it. The same qualities developed through years of engineering studies, including precision, observation, structure, discipline, and timing, later became central parts of his comedic success. This connection can be clearly seen in his portrayal of Mr. Bean. The character's perfectly timed physical humor, detailed expressions, and carefully planned movements all reflect Rowan's analytical way of thinking. Every action appears controlled and purposeful, showing the influence of a mind trained to notice detail and structure. In the end, Rowan Atkinson's educational journey carries a powerful message. His life shows that intelligence and creativity do not stand against each other. A person does not have to choose between academic brilliance and artistic talent. Both qualities can exist together, and when combined, they can create something truly remarkable. Rowan's success stands as proof that science, logic, creativity, and humor can work hand in hand. His journey from engineering student to global comedy icon remains one of the most inspiring examples of how different talents can strengthen each other in extraordinary ways. Today, the legacy of Mr. Bean continues to attract audiences around the world. Even after many years, the character remains loved by people of different ages and cultures. His influence has not faded with time, and interest in Rowan Atkinson's work continues to grow as new generations discover the timeless charm of Mr. Bean. Quiet struggles behind a legendary career. As the years passed, Rowan Atkinson continued to reach extraordinary heights in his career. He achieved success that many people only dream about. His talent opened doors to some of the biggest projects in entertainment, and his work became loved across the world. With every new role, he proved again and again why he was considered one of the most gifted comedians of his generation. His career grew in remarkable ways. He starred in successful films, created unforgettable characters, and became a familiar face to audiences everywhere. One of his most memorable achievements was lending his voice to Zazu in The Lion King. His performances continued to leave a lasting impact on viewers of all ages. He also returned to television many times, reminding people of his rare and unique brilliance as a performer. People from different countries and cultures laughed together, proving once again how powerful his style of humor truly was. But while the world celebrated his success, another story was quietly unfolding behind the scenes. Away from the applause and admiration, Rowan carried personal struggles that many people never saw. Even with all his achievements, there was an inner battle that never fully disappeared. In later interviews, he began speaking more openly about his feelings and experiences. His honesty gave people a rare look into what success actually felt like for him. He admitted that playing Mr. Bean, the character that made him famous around the world, was often emotionally exhausting. The role demanded far more from him than most people realized. Although the character rarely spoke, there was enormous pressure behind every performance. Rowan constantly felt the need to perform at the highest level and meet expectations. Behind the humor and physical comedy was the weight of always trying to be good enough. The pressure followed him, even during the moments when audiences believed he made everything look easy. He also revealed something deeply personal. At times, he struggled with feelings of not being good enough at all. This surprised many people because the public saw him as a comedy genius and a master of expression without words. To millions of viewers, he seemed completely confident and naturally brilliant. Yet inside, he still felt like someone trying to prove himself. His honesty became a powerful reminder that even the people the world admires most often carry silent struggles. Fame and success do not always remove doubt or insecurity. Behind the laughter that entertained millions was a man still questioning himself and pushing himself to improve. Away from his professional life, Rowan also experienced both joy and heartbreak in his personal life. His long marriage to Sunetra Sastry lasted for more than 2 decades before eventually ending. The The separation marked a painful chapter in his life and brought major personal changes. Later, life gave him another opportunity for happiness. He found love again with Louise Ford, beginning a new chapter filled with hope and renewal. It showed that even after difficult moments, life can still move forward in meaningful ways. There were also moments in Rowan's life that revealed a side of him many people never expected to see. In one real-life incident, he displayed remarkable calmness and courage during a flight when a pilot became unconscious. Rowan helped manage the situation during the emergency. It was far removed from the world of comedy and entertainment. Yet it showed his presence of mind, self-control, and quiet bravery under pressure. As the years continued, Rowan slowly stepped back from roles that demanded intense physical comedy. Age naturally made the energetic and highly physical style of Mr. Bean more difficult to continue at the same level. Performances that once looked effortless had always required tremendous discipline, energy, precision, and endurance. Projects such as Man vs. Bee reminded audiences just how physically demanding his work had always been. Every movement, facial expression, and moment of timing required careful control. What viewers saw as simple comedy was actually the result of years of skill, effort, and dedication. Even as he slowed down physically, his legacy only became stronger. By the year 2026, Mr. Bean had reached billions of views online. New generations continued discovering his work and laughing at the same timeless humor that had entertained audiences for decades. His comedy crossed cultures, languages, and age groups in a way very few entertainers ever achieve. People everywhere could understand and enjoy his performances without needing many words. That universal connection became one of the greatest strengths of his work. Yet despite worldwide fame, countless awards, and the admiration of millions, Rowan remained humble. He often seemed distant from the idea of his own greatness. While the world saw a legendary entertainer, he still viewed himself as someone trying to improve and live up to expectations. Perhaps that is the most fascinating part of his story. The public sees a legend, but Rowan still sees a person learning and growing. The young boy who once struggled to speak never completely stopped doubting himself. Yet through those struggles, he discovered a way to communicate that touched the entire world. By learning to express emotion and humor without words, he gave people something unforgettable. He created laughter that connected audiences everywhere, regardless of language or background. In the end, the truth he slowly began to understand may be the most important part of all. He was never an imposter. He was simply a man who turned his deepest struggle into his greatest strength. And through that journey, became truly unforgettable. Discovery that changed his life. Before the world laughed at his unforgettable expressions, before millions of people recognized his famous raised eyebrow and awkward walk, Rowan Atkinson was simply a quiet and reserved young boy trying to find his place in the world. He was born into a modest farming family in County Durham, and nothing about his early life suggested that he would one day become one of the most recognized comedians in the world. His childhood seemed calm and simple at first. The countryside around him was peaceful, structured, and predictable. Life moved slowly and gently, far away from the noise and pressure that would later come with fame. But behind that peaceful environment, Rowan was quietly facing a painful personal struggle. Around the age of 5, he developed a severe stutter. Speaking became extremely difficult for him. Words often felt trapped, sentences broke apart, and even normal conversations became stressful experiences. Something many people do naturally without thinking became a daily challenge for him. School, which should have been a place filled with learning and discovery, slowly became a place of discomfort and pressure. He often felt exposed whenever he tried to speak. Other children quickly noticed his difference, but few understood what he was going through. Some mocked him, some laughed at him, and others even called him strange or compared him to an alien. Among the people who later spoke about those years was Tony Blair, who remembered how difficult that environment was for Rowan. It is easy to imagine how painful those moments must have been. Rowan had thoughts, feelings, and ideas inside him. Yet bringing them out clearly felt almost impossible. He wanted to communicate and connect like everyone else, but often felt trapped behind his own voice. His struggle was not only about speaking, it also affected his confidence, his identity, and his sense of belonging. Then something unexpected began to happen. Whenever Rowan stepped onto a stage, everything changed completely. Whether it was a small school play or a simple performance, his stutter suddenly disappeared. The fear and hesitation that usually controlled him faded away the moment he became part of a performance. On stage, he felt different. He no longer felt trapped or afraid. Instead, he felt calm, confident, and in control. Speaking became easier, and expressing himself no longer felt painful. It was as if performing unlocked another side of him that had been hidden deep beneath the surface all along. For the first time, Rowan experienced freedom through performance. He did not simply say words on stage, he fully embodied them. He became expressive, energetic, and alive in ways he had never experienced before in everyday life. The stage became more than just a place to perform. It became a place where he could finally communicate without fear. At the time, he probably did not realize how important that discovery would become. What first started as a temporary escape from his speech difficulties slowly grew into something much greater. It became the foundation of his future and the beginning of a path that would completely shape his life. During this period, Rowan discovered something truly unique about himself. He realized that communication was not only about words. While many people relied heavily on speech, he began developing an incredible ability to communicate through movement, silence, timing, and facial expression. What once seemed like a painful limitation slowly transformed into an advantage. There is something deeply remarkable about that journey. The same boy who struggled to speak clearly would later become a man capable of making millions of people laugh, often without needing many words at all. That transformation remains one of the most fascinating parts of Rowan Atkinson's story. His challenges quietly helped shape the very skills that later made him famous across the world. His ability to use silence, body language, expressions, and perfect timing became some of his greatest strengths as a performer. Still, during those early years, Rowan was not thinking about worldwide fame or legendary success. He was not imagining packed audiences, television history, or the millions of fans who would later admire his work. He eventually turned his attention toward academics. In that world of structure, logic, and predictability, he began to thrive. Academic life gave him stability and direction. The struggles he faced helped shape his determination, his creativity, and the unique style of expression that later made him unforgettable to audiences around the world. But beyond the screen and beyond the laughter, many people still wonder about the real Rowan Atkinson. What was his personal life truly like? And what kind of relationships shaped the man behind the performances? Relationships and life changes over the years. In the late 1980s, a quiet but important chapter began in Rowan Atkinson's personal life. While he was working at the BBC, he met a skilled makeup artist named Sunetra Sastry. Their meeting was not dramatic or unusual. It was a simple and natural encounter in a professional environment. Over time, this ordinary beginning slowly developed into a closer connection as they continued to see each other in the course of their work. As they spent more time together, their connection became stronger. It was built on shared experiences, regular communication, and growing mutual understanding. Nothing rushed, but a steady development that gradually shaped their relationship. With time, what started as a simple workplace connection became something more meaningful and stable in their lives. By February in the year 1990, their relationship had reached an important stage. They decided to get married. This moment marked the beginning of their life as a committed couple. Their marriage brought a sense of stability and calm into Atkinson's personal life. It created a strong foundation where both of them could build a shared future together. As the years passed, their marriage continued and their family grew. They were blessed with 2 children. This added a new level of responsibility and meaning to their lives as a couple. Together, they worked on building a home environment that would support their children's growth and development. They chose to live in Appothorpe, a quiet and peaceful place. This location allowed them to raise their children away from constant public attention and outside pressure that often comes with fame. Within their family life, discipline and purpose were important values. Their children were brought up with structure and guidance. One of their children, their son Ben, went on to pursue a respected military career in the Brigade of Gurkhas. His path reflected discipline, bravery, and a strong sense of commitment, shaped by his upbringing. As time continued, changes began to appear in Rowan Atkinson's long marriage with Sunitra Sastry. After many years together, their relationship started to shift. In the year 2013, Atkinson began a new relationship with Louise Ford. They met during a stage performance. This meeting eventually led to a closer connection between them as their interaction continued beyond the stage environment. As their relationship developed, it became clear that the connection was significant for both of them. During this period, Louise Ford was still in a relationship with comedian James Acaster. However, as her bond with Atkinson grew stronger, she made a difficult personal decision. She ended her previous relationship in order to continue her connection with Atkinson. At the same time, Atkinson's marriage was also going through change. In the year 2014, he and Sunitra Sastry decided to separate after many years of marriage. This separation marked the end of a long and shared chapter in both of their lives. It was a major transition after a long period of being together as husband and wife. The following year, in 2015, their divorce was officially finalized. This step formally ended their marriage. Even though the legal relationship ended, they still had many years of shared memories, experiences, and the family they had built together. These remain part of their long history as a couple. Despite these personal changes, Rowan Atkinson continued to move forward in his life. His relationship with Louise Ford developed further over time. Eventually, they welcomed a child together. This added a new chapter to his life as a father once again. It also marked the beginning of a different stage in his personal journey, where he balanced his new relationship and parenting responsibilities. Throughout all these changes, Atkinson's life reflects many of the complex experiences that people go through. These include love, marriage, family responsibilities, separation, and new beginnings. His personal journey shows how relationships can change over time and how life can move in different directions, sometimes expected and sometimes unexpected. From meeting his first wife in a professional setting to building a family together and later experiencing separation and divorce, his life shows a continuous process of change and adaptation. It also includes finding new relationships and starting new chapters while still carrying the history of the past. In the end, Rowan Atkinson's personal story is not only about public success or professional achievement. It is also about personal growth, human relationships, and the different phases of life that shape a person over time. It reflects how life can move through different seasons, where one stage ends and another begins, often in gradual and natural ways. But how did Rowan Atkinson rise to success in his career? What was his experience like stepping into the spotlight and building his place in entertainment? A closer look at his journey reveals more about his path to fame and recognition, Rowan Atkinson's challenges, and lasting legacy. Rowan Atkinson's journey to success did not happen suddenly. It was built step by step through steady effort, patience, and consistent work over many years. His rise in the entertainment world shows a clear path of growth, challenges, and major achievements that came one after another. In the year 1979, Rowan Atkinson displayed his early talent in a project called The Atkinson People. In this production, he played multiple characters, each with different voices, personalities, and performance styles. This showed his strong creative ability and his skill in changing roles smoothly. Even though the show did not attract a large audience at the time, it clearly revealed his potential and originality. It also helped set the foundation for what would later become a much bigger career. After this, Rowan Atkinson moved into television with a program known as Not the 9 O'Clock News. At the beginning, the situation was not encouraging. The show struggled to gain viewers, and critics were not impressed. Many doubts were raised about whether it could continue or survive in the competitive television space. To many observers, it seemed like another unsuccessful attempt that might fade away. However, the situation changed when the show was given another opportunity. With this second chance, everything began to improve. Rowan Atkinson gradually found his rhythm and became more confident in his performances. His acting became sharper, more natural, and more entertaining. Working alongside skilled actors such as Pamela Stephenson and Mel Smith also helped him grow. Their collaboration created performances that audiences found memorable and engaging. One particular sketch titled Gerald the Gorilla stood out strongly. It was bold in concept, energetic in delivery, and highly unusual in style. This performance showed Rowan Atkinson's willingness to take creative risks in order to produce strong comedy. From that point onward, his position in the entertainment industry began to change noticeably. He was no longer seen as a struggling performer trying to find his place. Instead, he was becoming a recognized and rising talent. As his success increased, new challenges also appeared. The expectations placed on him became much higher. He was expected to consistently deliver strong performances, maintain high levels of humor, and keep audiences entertained at all times. This created pressure that gradually became heavy. Acting was no longer just an enjoyable activity. It turned into a demanding responsibility that required constant energy and creativity. The long working hours, the need to remain consistently creative, and the emotional effort required for performance all began to take a toll on him. This level of pressure was not always visible to the public, but it was very real in his daily experience. After Not the 9 O'Clock News came to an end, Rowan Atkinson moved into another important project called Blackadder, created in collaboration with Richard Curtis. At first, Blackadder did not immediately become a major success. Like many productions that later become famous, it took time to develop its strength and direction. Over time, however, the show improved significantly in quality, writing, and performance. By its later seasons, Blackadder had grown into one of the most respected comedy series in British television history. In particular, the later seasons showed a more refined and intelligent style of humor. By the time Blackadder Goes Forth was released in 1989, the series had reached a very high point. It combined humor with emotional depth, creating a rare balance between comedy and seriousness. This combination left a strong impact on viewers and showed that comedy could also carry meaning and reflection. Then came the role that would define Rowan Atkinson's global identity, Mr. Bean. When Mr. Bean first appeared in 1990, it introduced a completely new style of comedy. The character spoke very little, yet communicated clearly through actions, facial expressions, and physical behavior. This made the show easy to understand for audiences across different countries and languages. As a result, Mr. Bean quickly became a worldwide success. It reached millions of viewers and was broadcast in more than 200 countries. The character also expanded beyond television into films, books, toys, and many other forms of media. Mr. Bean became one of the most recognizable figures in global entertainment. However, behind this success was a demanding reality. The performance of Mr. Bean required extreme attention to detail. Every movement, expression, and action had to be carefully planned and controlled. The physical style of comedy demanded precision and strong body control at all times. This made the role physically and mentally exhausting. After performances, Rowan Atkinson often felt completely drained. The effort required to maintain such a character was far greater than what audiences could see. What appeared simple and effortless on screen was actually the result of intense focus and preparation behind the scenes. Despite all this success, he did not always feel fully confident about his abilities. Alongside fame and recognition, there were moments of self-doubt. Even while the world praised his work and enjoyed his performances, he sometimes questioned whether he was truly as talented as people believed. These thoughts remained with him quietly over time. Today, Rowan Atkinson's journey continues to be viewed. All form part of a long and impressive career that continues to interest audiences around the world. So, what do you think about Mr. Bean's educational background and family life? Could there have been other aspects his fans would be interested in knowing?